Could this little box make the difference of whether your loved one comes home tonight? Non Apologetic news. Anybody who doesn't know, who hasn't watched TV or anything, what this does is it completely nullifies the effects of opiates in the body. So that your oxycodone, your oxycontin, your hydros, even heroin. I don't understand why everybody doesn't have this in their house. You can get this free. I'll put a link down below or your insurance will cover it. Every pharmacy has it. So if you know anyone who's an addict, uses medication, anything, this is a must. The way this little thing works, and even if you're an addict, I mean, carrying this in your pocket is not the end of the world. But this is a single dose nasal spray. So it's just a plunger, 2 fingers and thumb. If you're suspecting somebody's overdose, so they won't wake up, their skin's gray, or have you ever heard of the death rattle?
Yeah.
Anyone who doesn't know, someone struggling to breathe and it sounds like they have an upper respiratory infection. So gargling and the gargle, that's the death rattle, meaning they're literally about to die. What you do is you put your hand behind their neck, cock it back, spray this into one nozzle. You know, you only get 1 spray per device, but it comes in a 2-pack. You could hit them with both. After that, anybody who doesn't know how to do CPR, while you have the neck tilted back, you plug the nose. You'll want to do 2 long breaths followed by 3 to 5 short breaths, and then chest compressions. I think everybody knows how to do those. Palm on palm over the chest. Make sure it goes all the way down, 2 per second. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Once you hit 15 of those, you go back to the back into the breathing. Boom. So it's not a matter of whether this stuff will work. This works. I mean, this will save someone's life. I keep it in my pickup truck because we live in a pretty messed up area. And I have a secondary stuff that's kept in the house just in case some little girly girl who comes out has, you know, she's on the wrong side of the tracks, let's say. Like I say, this is free. Go to your local pharmacy, go wherever, you can get this stuff. My insurance gave it to me for free, and I filled out a form to get the second ones, and I'm going to have that form listed below. It's through Texas, but apparently they ship to all states. So as long as you can wait 3 weeks to not OD, you know, you can get the package in. Now, you were telling me something about some experience a buddy of yours had with Narcan?
Friend of mine, her brother, he had his hand mangled up real bad at work. Lost a finger and stuff.
Not from being on opiates, just regular. Oh, okay.
He go and had surgery, and they gave him the anesthesia. He's a big boy, so they thought they needed like double or triple the amount. Woo. Well, they almost killed him. They had to narc him 3 times. But yeah, if it wasn't for that stuff, and
it brought him back and everything. That's sort of the point, because what they use a lot of times for the anesthesia is fentanyl. And this stuff works great with fentanyl. I don't know why I didn't mention it. I've never seen this stuff, so I don't even think about what fentanyl is. But it's used for, like, people who are about to die from cancer. It's like, hey, just be a little messed up. Like, you're on your way out of here. And also for anesthesia. So, yeah, every paramedic, that's another thing. I read 2 stories this year of where paramedics have this, obviously, and they've used it on addicts, and it completely removes the high. Like, it nullifies every bit of effect of the opiate. So even though that person was dying, they got up and physically attacked the paramedics because he took their high away, right? So they had to go out and get themselves a fix again. Now, I've read where people have been Narcaned as much as 3 times in one night from paramedics. Because the Narcan will be used, and then it'll essentially it brings all the opiates out of your body. So then they'll go and do their normal batch, OD again, get called again, and then they go for the trifecta and hit it with a 3rd time. Jeez. And a lot of this comes down to handle your drugs. You know, if you are going to go down that road, like people with oxycodone or hydrocodone, you know, heard of a lot of people who accidentally overdose. You know, they don't understand. For one, that thing has Tylenol in it. So you're getting 325 milligrams of Tylenol for every dose you take. So if you're taking 5 milligrams, well, once you hit 4 grams of Tylenol, you hit a point where you could get Tylenol toxicity. It's like when people say you can take a bottle of Tylenol and it'll be your last headache. That's what it does. The Tylenol kills you even before this stuff does. So if you are someone who takes a bunch of these pills, get a higher dose than a 5 milligram. Because let's say it's a 10 or I don't know what they make, but let's say 20s. Every one is having 325 milligrams. So the less you have to take, the more you can get away from the Tylenol that this Narcan is not going to help you with. But I also kind of have this vision that, like, I'm going to be like the Superman. And we'll be driving down the road and people are going to be gathered around a body and I'm going to be like, get back, I have the Narcan. But yeah, it really is. I don't even know where this stuff came from. And I wish they had it for other drugs. Like if they had something like this for methamphetamines, people wouldn't die as often in this area.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I don't know. But yeah, I think it's a great idea for everyone to have. And like I say, if you're an addict, keeping this around, especially if you're someone who's seen like one of your buddies die, like you could have saved his life. This will literally save their life. They're going to be pissed off at you. And then, like I say, fentanyl. Everyone's worried about fentanyl. Apparently, every drug now is cut with fentanyl.
Pretty much, yeah.
This will nullify that. I saw some crazy stuff. Do you remember that stuff, Spice, that was floating around? They called it Spice. It was like herb, but you could buy it in the smoke shops.
Oh, yeah. Was that and salvia? Was one of them, too?
I think that was a different drug. I think that's from like a cactus or something. But this Spice stuff, it even said not for human consumption. What it is this, it's this chemically made, basically alternative to herb, right? That they spray on it. And that's what gets you messed up. I was watching some documentary and they were saying over in, I believe it was Australia, that all of their weed is now contaminated with it. Because instead of getting nugs shipped in, they're getting like boo-boo and then spraying this stuff all over it. And this stuff gives you a nasty high. Back when I used to smoke, this girl I was dating, she had it in a pipe and I didn't really know. And I took a couple hits of it. She had left it there like on my lunch break. And I went back to work and dude, it was like being hammered. I got sick, nauseous. It's just bad stuff. So if they're contaminated over there, I'd say it's not long or it's already happening over here as well.
I hope not.
But whether it be fentanyl, Spice, whatever, like I say, I will leave a link below where you can get this stuff. I mean, it's free, guys. Literally. Keep it in your homes. You know. But I did hear someone's argument, which was half valid. They're like, you're not saving their life. You're putting off their death. Like I saw this kid in Canada. They have some sort, it's called like Duff or something. Some sort of, they go on the dark web and they buy drugs and then they test them for purity. And then they give them out to people on the streets. It'll be like 3.5 grams of heroin or 3.5 grams of meth. And he's like, today, this person will not OD from bad drugs. It's like, no, but they're going to OD from 3.5 grams worth.
Right.
You know, and that way I could see the argument. Like, they're not going to OD today when they have your clean drugs, but tomorrow they're still going after the dirt drugs. This seems to be more like someone's literally laying there dying and you could stop it from happening. Maybe that's a wake-up call.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think the odds of it actually being a wake-up call is, though? Do you know anybody all wrenched out on opiates, heroin, or otherwise?
Distance myself from anyone like that.
Yeah, see, I don't think heroin's really made it to Southwest Missouri. If it has, we're just in the wrong circles.
Yeah.
Or the right circles, I mean, depending on how you look at it. But I've never had anyone be like, I'm about to do some heroin, or would you like to do some heroin?
Yeah. That's one of the few I've never been offered.
I had someone offer me Red Rock when we were in high school. And then I had one dude, he had like a Mentos can, and he was like, I got something in here, but if I show it to you, you got to do it with me. I'm like, I don't know about all that. It was over at house, and he was already in on it, like I had walked in on them, whatever, and he opens it up, and it's all these almost like aluminum foil looking things, and I guess they was crack rock. That's the only time I ever even seen that, you know.
It was over at old fucking Oak Meadows.
Yeah.
There in Joplin years and years ago. I was going from the girl I was with, her apartment, over to another buddy's apartment. And this is like 2 or 3 in the morning. So I'm walking across the parking lot, and this raggedy car pulls up, old couple, rolls down the window and yells at her. He's like, hey. It's like, hey, what's up? Hey, we're looking for crack. You want to get any? It's like, no, I don't. I'm like, all right, thank you. And went along about their fucking
See, that's the desperation that comes from it, though. You know, I wonder if, a lot of people don't get off opiates because they use the excuse that they're going to get dope sick. I wonder if this would stop that. You know what I mean? Because it nullifies the effect of the opiates. Would it stop them from getting dope sick then without the presence of it? Or does it immediately throw you into dope sick? That's probably more likely.
Yeah, probably.
All right, guys. Narcan, naloxone hydrochloride nasal spray. You get this anywhere, go to your local pharmacy or hit that link in the description. I know we're joking around, but hell, maybe you can save a life. We will see y'all next week on Non Apologetic News. Hopefully both of my Narcans are still sealed by that point, but we will let you know. Everybody, have yourself a good evening. Non Apologetic News.